Hey everybody, it's your favorite chef, and we got just 24 hours to go. That's it, 24 hours. We'll find out who makes it into the final round. So I'm really counting on your vote, and I am ever grateful from the bottom of my heart to you for voting. So please keep up the voting. Tonight I just want to come back around to the dish I was talking about last night. I'm going to show you a quick, fun way to make chocolate pudding. So that's my video tonight, and I'll show you really quickly the ingredients here. I have some really good chocolate milk from Ronnie Brook Farms, so I'm going to use that. I'm going to add a little Ghirardelli chocolate to fortify that. Okay, so cocoa powder. I'm going to add a half a cup of sugar, which I'm going to dump right into my pan. Again, that's a half a cup of sugar. So I'm going to show you down here real quickly. Let's get down to the pan. There we go. Perfect. And then to that, I'm going to add cocoa powder. So I'm going to add 2 tablespoons of cocoa powder. We'll make it nice. They don't have to be even, just 2 big spoons cocoa powder. And then I have one more ingredient. I have vanilla extract. So we'll add 1 teaspoon vanilla extract. Okay, 1 teaspoon. And then I'm just going to mix this around really quickly, dry here, and kind of distribute the chocolate and the sugar. Okay. And then I'm going to take 2 cups of the chocolate milk. And the great thing about this recipe, it's so easy. Your kids can make it, so they'll really get a kick out of making this. Again, a quick, easy recipe to make chocolate pudding. And then I'm just going to crank up the heat a little bit. I'm going to turn it to medium-high. And I'm going to let this get real nice and hot. So again, we started out with a half a cup of sugar. Then we added to that 2 tablespoons of cocoa powder. And then we added in 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. And then we're going to heat that up. And then we're just going to thicken this up. So over here I have some cornstarch. I have 4 tablespoons of cornstarch. And then I'm just going to add a little water to the cornstarch and mix that up beforehand. Because if you just dump the cornstarch right into here, it'll get all lumpy and chunky. So I just take this, mix it up into a nice little paste here. There we go. This way, when you mix it into the cocoa, you could put a little more water, but I don't like it to get too thin. We want it to be nice and thick. So what I'll probably do is just add a little bit of the cocoa mix right into my cornstarch as well. That way we don't thin it out too much. So. Cornstarch can be a little fun to work with. It'll get thick, it'll thicken up, and then once you stir it, it'll turn back to a liquid consistency. And then once it gets hot, it'll get nice and thick again. So anyway, again, I'm making chocolate pudding here. And this is the last night, or tomorrow night is the last night for voting for your favorite chef. And if I don't get in this round, I'm out. So I really I'm counting on your support. I appreciate it so far. I know you guys have been so diligent voting. I'm really happy and really grateful to everybody. It's been a fun journey. Very long, but fun journey, I'll tell you that. So you see, that's it. Right here, I got this beautiful, right now it's just a chocolate milk, a hot chocolate. We went from a chocolate milk to a hot chocolate. So, and the idea here is just to take something that you might not have thought about and turning it into something different. So you had a chocolate milk and we're turning it into a chocolate pudding. I think that's some of the fun stuff with cooking, is just figuring out a different way to do it and a different way to get results. And this is a great way, call it a hack or call it, I don't know, cheating, but I think it's better than the stuff in the box by far. You'll see how creamy and delicious it is. And then over here I have a bowl, have ice in a bowl, and then I have my other bowl on top, and then we'll just pour the liquid in there and chill it down, and simply 1, 2, 3, we're done. So it'll take a minute here to get hot. I can already tell it's gonna be good. Just gonna add a little salt. Again, you don't have to have salt if you have sensitivities to salt, but it kind of pulls out a little more flavor that way, adding it. I actually made this recipe last night, and I had not enough cornstarch, and I had to run out and grab some more. So by the time I got to make it, it was just too late. So I dumped out that batch and decided to make it again. So now it's getting nice and thick. Ooh, look at that. So you got this beautiful creamy texture here. Gotta let it cook just for about 2 or 3 minutes to kind of cook out the starch, so it's not too starchy tasting. And the good thing about cornstarch is, for a dessert, it works pretty well, I have to say. You could also use potato starch. I've done the same thing again with potato starch. I've used tapioca pudding. So you have many options. You know, if you have sensitivities or you don't want to eat one versus another. We're getting there. Right now you can see it's pretty thick. So let's get a little more. And again, you know, depending upon, I think this 4 tablespoons should be right. You could go a little bit more, but I think at that point you're going to start getting a little starch taste to it at that point. So just counting on this to be just enough. Yeah. Kind of see it's like a thick, kind of custardy pancake mix. Tastes delicious, so we're on the right track. And then now we'll dump it right into our pan, chill it down, and it should thicken up just beautifully. You know, if I were doing this at a restaurant or something like that, I would put it through a strainer. I don't think it needs it because I don't see any lumps, but just in case that would happen, you want to get just a tiny better texture, maybe a little bit more silkiness, although I really don't think it requires it. And now we'll just stir it, let it cool down, and we should have a beautiful chocolate pudding here. You can see that. Let me slide this right over here. I can see it thickening up beautifully. As it gets cooler and cooler, it's going to be a really delicious, yummy chocolate pudding. Like I said, this is so easy. You know, whether it's you or the kids, or you want to make a little fun family project, I think that is pretty cool too. I just want you to see it's getting how thick. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hope you try this, give it a shot. You can use anything really. You could use vanilla milk. I know now they have some really good vanilla nut milks. You could just add the powdered chocolate, which we made, the chocolate milk, which we made last night. And then do the same exact process, use the same recipe. So for example, if you wanted to use almond milk or you know, rice milk or something like that, just use the chocolate from the recipe we did last night for chocolate milk, and then you will have this, you know, great, amazing, more healthy chocolate pudding. Ah, look at that, so beautiful, thick, creamy. You could do all kinds of stuff with this. You could put it in between puff pastry, you know, make a nice puff pastry dishes, put some raspberries or strawberries in there and layer it up in between that. So there's many things you could use this for. You could use it as a cake, you know, you could put it in between a cake. But honestly, use it as a, like almost like a frosting, really a frosting. You could make a chocolate Boston cream pie, you know, that will be a nice little texture to add to it. Instead of doing a vanilla cream, you could do a chocolate cream. Anyway, there we have it. Now, as always, it's most important to always taste what you're making. Because if you don't taste it, then you don't know how it really is. So, we'll show you this nice, see, nice thick, you could see how thick and creamy this chocolate pudding is right here. Right there. Beautiful, look at that. Wow. Heavenly, rich chocolatey chocolate pudding that is so easy to make. You don't need a box.